So this is a continuation of of a video I just posted, okay, about 5G and relating it to, and I'm just my opinion, that possibly 5G, because Trump was in support of 5G and 6G. In my last video, I showed a post of his back in 2019, and it seems to me with as many as you see of these 5Gs going up everywhere, especially around water towers, on the water towers themselves, it seems to me that it goes along with, maybe my opinion, okay, just speculation, that possibly to help to also be, because Israel was working with our military to so we could have an Iron Dome, and we're way bigger a country. So a little bit about talk about Biden and Obama just being enemies to Israel. Here's why I say this. Patriot missiles to Ukraine, 2022. Will Israel's Iron Dome follow? Because I had heard something today about how they also didn't have all the missiles they needed. Now, because we supply them with that. We always have. This isn't something new. So, and the thing is that the Democrats, what a surprise, have always been the ones that have fought giving funding. I mean, they make on TV like they're for it, but there's tons of articles where they're fighting it, most especially when you have the anti-Semitic people in there, the AOC and all of them carrying on. Okay, and again, this isn't against the Palestinian people or the Iran people. They know that the people that are controlling their country, much like ours in many ways, except we haven't reached the levels they have, but they have domestic terrorists running their countries that have outright said since the time I was born that they want to destroy every Jew, okay? So for AOC or Rashida Tlaib in Congress, any of them, it's like zip it, okay? Your true colors have been shown, okay? And for all these students that have been pulled into unbelievable what these professors have done. But then again, like I said in my video earlier today, you put Bill Ayers, okay, Obama's buddy in University of Illinois Chicago, okay, that's how you get these kids out of here with this radical idea that let's take down all the Jews because they're responsible for Palestinian children dying. You know how many Israeli kids have died too? Never has Israel said we want to kill every Palestinian or every Iranian person. I think the level-headed Iranians and the level-headed Palestinians know this. They know that they're radical groups. And it's the innocent that get caught in the crossfire. But Israel has a right to defend itself. So, apparently Ukraine was requesting. Yeah, Zelensky was requesting to have an Iron Dome. Yeah. And so Israel wasn't having any part of that, and here's what the reasons were. Yeah, during Zelensky's visit, Biden announced one particularly important change to U.S. policy. Washington will now send Patriot air defense systems to defend Ukraine's skies against Russia missiles and airstrikes. In some ways, the move also puts a spotlight on Israel. The country refused to provide Ukraine with its coveted Iron Dome air defense system with its more than 90% success rate intercepting. Ukrainian officials have pushed hard for these systems with official requests coming from the president's office, the foreign ministry, the defense ministry, and the Ukrainian embassy in Israel. But the reasons for Israel's refusal are several. First and foremost, important, Israel harbors legitimate fears that if any of its systems were to be deployed, they would be captured by Russia I don't think it's what they have to worry about, though. Obviously, that's what our media says. Russia is the big bad wolf, right? I don't think so. But this is what. But I think Israel's concerns obviously are valid, okay? So one of them is they are all but guaranteed to be sent to Iran if they get in the wrong hands. And Joe Biden, yeah, that would be in the wrong hands. This analysis could enable the regime to find ways to counter these systems in the battle spaces where Iran's proxies and Israel are squaring off. This would benefit Hezbollah, Hamas, and Palestinian Islamic Jihad in future confrontations with Israel. The outgoing Israeli government made it clear that it was not a risk it was willing to take. Second, Israel is hesitant to send these systems elsewhere when the Israeli Defense Forces have already assessed an urgent need to acquire more systems and interceptors for its own protection. Hezbollah and Hamas weapons arsenals continue to grow despite Israel's largely successful efforts to, this is obviously before what happened recently, or yesterday or the day before. The production of the necessary numbers of systems and interceptors will take some time, and the timetable could set back by exports to Ukraine. Third, the amount of time required to train Ukrainian forces to operate the Iron Dome would not help Ukrainian in the short term. One can understand why Ukrainian wants the system given its success rate. However, the Patriot would likely be an easier system to train Ukrainian forces on. So I'm not sure what the Patriot is. The missiles, I guess. Finally, Israel does not wish to trigger a harsh response from Russia, which maintains a significant presence in Syria, where Israel is engaged in regular kinetic activity to neutralize efforts by the Iranian regime to smuggle advanced weapons to Hezbollah and Lebanon. Now, the reason I say that I'm bringing this up is because of the fact that we obviously we've always worked with the military, with Israel's military. That's why I say they're the best ally. They have never. There's a lot of hate out there for the Jewish people, a lot, and I think you're seeing it rise up now. A lot of it has been generated by sick and disgusting professors at the highest of Ivy League universities, obviously, and much of our government, really on the right some, but the majority of the left. They've always wanted to fight, giving them money or giving them missiles, okay? Obama made out like he was all helping them. And I'm not saying he never signed off on any money, okay? But he actually went over there before he was president. I think it was when the article said he was still a nominee. Yeah, got to see how they all see this whole system. Now, hopefully they didn't tell him all the intricacies of it, because as far as I'm concerned, I've said before, Obama has been an enemy to this country, okay? So is Joe Biden. So, and this continued, let's give Ukraine everything the American people have, even our military equipment, along with, but we're going to open the borders and let all Hamas come in here. It should tell you that right now we have a president in office who is an enemy to the American people. He's a danger to this country. I don't care what, like, nice little speeches they want to get. Well, not that he can even give a speech. He can't even, put two sentences together. But the fact is that our military has always worked with the Israeli military. So for many years now, our military has been wanting to get an Iron Dome here. And that's the iron shooting to go after a missile that's been detected. And as I said, I think that makes sense why there's so many 5G going up. I can't believe you need that much just for cell phones, and yeah. But that's just my opinion. And Trump supported 5G and 6G, so I think it was to protect this country, because ultimately the same people going after Israel, well, they're in this country, and they've said many times, death to America.